after some searching, I did find cherry. And in this area, we've got 3 species. We've got black cherry, pin or fire cherry, and choke cherry. And particularly here at Nika, we've got black, and we've got the pin or fire cherry. I think this is the pin or fire cherry, and I'll tell you why in a second. It's the tree right here behind this pine, and it's kind of a peaked looking little tree. It's not looking particularly healthy, and it's actually growing up here on this ridge of dry sandy soil that was pushed to the side. So this is like one of the most disturbed sites you can think of. It's just a pile of rocks and sand and gravel, and that's exactly what cherry does, is they'll colonize a place that's very inhospitable. And this is the other tree, along with red maple and red oak to a certain degree, and also with sheep laurel, that is probably the most dangerous of the toxic plants. Particularly dry cherry leaves are very toxic, but this is one that is one you need to look out for in your property, and it's common in sites like this. So that means if you've got a pasture that's got an edge, you may have cherry in there. And the cherries all have a characteristic in common, and it's what we call lenticels. And lenticels are breathing pores that are in the bark, and they're very obvious on cherry. Sometimes they look like lines, and sometimes they're lens-shaped. And this doesn't show it as well as I'd like it to show. But when you look at the bark, it's smooth more or less, but you see these breathing pores all over. And that's one way to recognize cherry. And I think this is a pin or fire cherry. I should know better because here's the fruits right here, the cherries. Just because the leaves are a little bit thinner, more lance-shaped. Black cherry, the leaves tend to be a little bit broader. And the other thing I always look for with a black cherry leaf that's mature is if you turn it over, there's like a reddish brown fuzz that grows along that midrib on the underside of the leaf. That's a good sign that it's black cherry. But to me, it doesn't matter if it's cherry. You want to watch out for it, whether it's black or fire or choke cherry. And you know, again, it's common where it grows. It's not, excuse me, probably going to be as common in the forest here for sure as, say, red oak or red maple. But it is one that I did want to include in this talk because it is such a toxic plant for equines.